Welcome back to the Interiors Show. We are back at Tejal's lovely home talking about everything there is to interior design. We also include in this segment some of the queries sent in by our viewers, and Tejal will give useful tips and ideas to make your space look beautiful. So Tejal, our viewers have sent in some queries and they would really like you to address them and help them out with it. So let's begin.
Sure.
So the first query is from Divya. She says that she lives in Delhi and she recently moved into a new place and she wants to know budget-friendly tips to do up her place. And she has specially mentioned that she loves old-filled posters and the color red.
Red would actually be a color that looks good on a single element. You could have a red couch, for example, but not red leather. I mean, for me, it would have to be a matte red linen, if at all.
Okay.
But I don't see it being used on walls or whatever.
No.
Then that's the point of view of it.
Alright, so she could probably paint her cupboard red or have elements inside the room that could be red and can stand out.
That's right. And the old film posters, I mean, of course, they look fabulous. I mean, if you have a wall that's in your living room or your library behind your reading couch, I mean, that's the perfect place to have it. The other way to do it is if they could be fitted into panels on a large sliding door that separates a separate panel, and maybe arrange them like a movie reel or something, or in perfect rectangular panels. So you're actually looking at a rental library rack.
No, that's quite interesting. So, instead of having them on your walls, probably use it, rather differently on the sliding doors.
That's right. I mean, because everything can be used on walls, but I feel walls should be reserved for something a little more precious.
Okay. So let's go on to the next query. Meghna writes, asking us how can she make the walls of her cafeteria look quirky and interesting while retaining functionality. And she also mentions that she prefers to keep the walls raw and bare.
If she really wants to have some of the walls undone, maybe up to like 4 feet, cut out porcelain tiles in a honeycomb pattern and inlay with black tiles. So you have a black and a white in something that you would see in a subway in New York, or something that you would see in a very traditional bathroom that used porcelain work. And use that up to a certain height, then have a little relief work, and then leave the remaining walls bare. So there is a feeling of clean, and then you still have the undone space above 4 feet that usually never gets handled or damaged.
Yeah, and I'm sure also because it's a cafeteria and she has a lot of furniture to sort of fill the space up, so she can leave the walls bare.
Right, and really the attention, the focus, so you just have a wall that's more interesting, so you have 2 levels of detail on a wall.
So the wall turns out to be a design element in itself.
Exactly.
Alright, let's move to Yash now. He says, I'm a globetrotter and I love to collect hand-painted ceramic plates. I haven't figured out how to display my collection. Could you please give me some suggestions?
Well, he could just take a trip to my house and see how we've hung those plates up. Well, the best way to do it is to prong it with wires and then have it set at the back and hang them on walls. That's one way to hang the plates. But if you absolutely don't, if you're set about where you want to hang them and you're never really going to change them, I find this more interesting, is to actually cull out some of the plaster of the wall and embed them partially inside and let the cement and the ceramic bond. Because when they get a little recessed, it doesn't look like a surface treatment anymore. It looks like it's actually archaeologically coming out of the wall. That's in fact a little more interesting, and it gives a texture to the wall that's very effortless.
Yes, in fact, this one looks more interesting than just hanging it by the wall.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's move to Gayatri. She says, I have recently bought a house. I want to know what kind of furniture can I purchase for my living room, which is budget friendly again, doesn't take up too much space and is aesthetic. The living room is 17 feet 6 inches by 15 feet. What do you suggest?
For me, firstly, a living room should have a really comfortable couch. So even if a person has to go to lengths to find that perfect comfort in the couch, a couch that you can slouch in, sit in, sink in, watch television, she could buy something that is not very expensive. And even if it looks a little cheesy, it's all right.
Okay.
After that, buy a nice chintzy floral tapestry, or buy a nice linen, a simple linen fabric, and kind of cover the couch with tie-ups along the arms, and it would just look like one of those country couches.
So basically what I gather is that if you're low on budget, or you want to stick to a budget effective design, then buy a furniture, buy a cheap furniture, and the trick is in colors and tapestry.
I think so, yeah.
Thank you so much, Tejal, for all your time today. In fact, I would like to say that for me it was a date with your designs, and I learned a lot, and I'm sure I'll use some of it within my capability at home.
No, you can give me a call for that.
I'll do that.
It was my privilege all the way.
Thank you. Today was a unique learning experience for me. Tejal broadened my perspective of design. I learned that it is not just a static art of visuals, but a story waiting to be told, where every element is a new chapter. With that, we come to the end of another episode of the Interiors Show. But next week, I'll be back with another designer exploring new avenues of design.